Right, two jobs today. We're going to measure the weight on the pulley so we can calculate how much downward force is on the falling derrick, because that is a really nice aluminium pole I've got there, and I'd like to swap it out to fiberglass and use that for tower 2, which is going over here. When the tower is down, we're going to get some tools out here. I'm going to cut a tiny little slot for a coax exit at the top of the mast for 10, for 20, for maybe a weather station, a camera, and other odds and ends. So it just needs to be big up. I can't come right out the top, because right out the top we will put 160 vertical. Right, that whole tower is going to be 160 metres. Because fiberglass is going to have less of a crush, maximum crush point than aluminium, but we need to work out how much, if you know what I mean. Right. Okay, we don't want this flopping around. All right, let's measure it now. That's only 60 kilos there. $79. See if I can still read it. $90. And the bloody sun's in the way. Bloody typical. Can we twist it around? No. So I'm guessing. I don't know what the crush potential of a fiberglass pole is when it is slightly bowed. That says 47.75. This has been up and down like a bloody yo-yo, but let's see if I've got it right. I don't want to kind of get the drone out just to read a number. $135. All right. So, at the base, that'll be about 150. All right, so 150 kilos across the top. And then I've got to work out how much downward pressure that is on the falling derrick and whether we're allowed to swap it there to fiberglass. All right, so apart from measuring the falling derrick today, is another job I've got to do, which is drop the tower, which has already been over about 4 times. I've got to cut a little slot in the aluminium at the top for a coax exit, because we've got to run a wire right up the top of this thing with a signature 9 in the top to have a 27 metre tall, 160 metre vertical. We need to put a bloody great coil at the bottom. But we need to sort out the coax exit. But before I do that, I've noticed that because it's very hot today, this rope's gone a bit loose. That's just interesting, isn't it, really? So my plan is Obviously a slot at the base, although convenient, is the worst possible place, and even probably 60%. I'm thinking of going there, but I'm getting quite small, probably 12mm hole there, a little 12mm hole there, and then I'll use a little Dremel and I'll cut a slot. And then that way, when the tower is going up or down, the most stress is on the top and the bottom. We'll leave this on the side. So obviously 10 will come up and go back down. We've got a big choke to fit as well. 20 will just keep going up, and we've got a big choke to fit there as well. I'm not doing it big, it's so big you can get a whole PL259 through it. We'll have to take the PL259s off, thread the coax through, and then put the PL259 back on again. Now then, I don't want to drill through this coax that is coming up here, so we'll disconnect that and we'll give it a little tug down the bottom and pull it down to kind of, well, out of the way. We'll have to then put a snake down here to fetch the cables back up. Well, if you're going to be accurate, you might as well be fairly accurate. So, roughly. So yes, this will weaken the pole, but by an acceptable amount, I think so. Oh, I just thought, I still got the coax running through here. Drat. This is a bit of a temporary lash up right now. That's crap anyway. Okay, so we can shove that back down. By the way, there was a really angry person on to say that you need a lack of oxygen and contact. Well, you need a lack of oxygen for blue Loctite to work. Well, I mean, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, it went on the threads, and then I tightened the bolt, on the thread. Lack of oxygen. Apparently, he didn't say this. You also need contact with steel. So yeah, it's goopy on the outside here, but where the thread is and the nut is, it'll be fine. Of course, the other thing, because he hasn't been keeping up with this, is everything is temporary right now, because we haven't got to the dynamometer, you nut. Do we pull this all the way out? I suppose we'll have to, because we'll need to take the connector off. There we go. And then stick the snake in, bring it back up along with something else. This is actually going to be 10-metre coax. It's the best we've got. All right, now we can drill. All right, let's get it right on the same line ideally. I can see the extrusion joins. I think it's there. So we'll get a little step drill. I'll go up to 12mm, and then we've got to practice with the Dremel. I mean, I just lose like a bloody angle grinder or something, but anyway, step drill. And being aluminium or aluminum, it's not so critical to use oil. I'd like some. Hang on, I'll be back. Just some 3-in-1, Oh God, it's very pory. Right, let's just get it going first. Right, what one's that one? 12 is there. Oh, is it? Let's go 14. We might want to put EcoFlex 15 up here one day. Lovely. I've got a file with me, so I'll be able to sort that out. The other thing on the internet, I think people think I must have 3 hands. What do you think my other hand is doing right now? Okay, I like that. Just got to match that one up now. Okay. Perfecto. So I think we'll get my steel rule, we'll redo these lines. I'm not very good at the Dremel. I prefer a big spanner. I'm so bad at this. I think I've got roughly a line. Let's go up higher. By the way, I'm fully aware this is the wrong tool for the job, but sometimes you just got to work with what you've got. I might literally have to do this with a hacksaw blade in a bit. One more try. Yeah, it's not going to work. Angle grinders are great for steel, not so good for aluminium, but since we are just creating a little slot, see how lucky, I've got my special glasses on, see how lucky we are. That was a bit quicker, wasn't it? We've got a little bit of aluminium in there though, and that'll be really hot, so I'm not touching that. Now I'm going to clean up all these edges, make them really nice, so there's no stress, you know, on the bits and pieces. We can probably flick that out. Oh no, we can't. We need the tool bucket. Yeah, that'll probably get it out. Hey. Right, so we'll really unsharpen all this. I've got files and stuff with me, so we'll do that now. That was handy. So that's Mike's contact, who had the LDF 450 originally. And I've got a special fitting kit for the connectors. I was just checking out that stuff. But the other thing is he's got a contact at Droitwich. So Droitwich is where Radio 4, Radio 5 Live and something else is broadcast from. But the Radio 4 is 1500 metres. It's basically a massive T vertical, and it's fed with two enormous balanced feeders that are like a foot in diameter buried underground. Massive, sort of like Coax, if you like. And one day they will decommission that tower. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game, so the day that it stops transmitting, we can go down there as a team with my big tuner and the Acom 2000, and I want to get on like top band 80 metres and 40 metres, just to a particular top band, just, you know, one night, just to see what it'll do. I mean, you know, it's such a shame to tear down, 800 foot high, these things. Thinking about it, the pattern would probably be bloody awful. I'll probably be better off with the 4-square. But anyway, got to do it, eh? Okay, this filing is working. So what I'm trying to do is file it to the point where there's absolutely no sharp edges at all. And then I know, you know, the stress fractures have gone. A little bit of a dent there, which is a bit annoying me. I might try and get that out. Okay, that's better. I got that out. So it's nice. I mean, I might take a bit of sandpaper to it. I'm only getting super fussy here. But that's nice. I can't. That won't cut Coax now, you know. And if I've got room, I might put a little rubber gasket around there. We'll see. There's not much room there. I've intentionally cut it quite small, but fine. All right. So tomorrow we'll get two Coax to here, one for the 10 metre and one for 20. We'll replace all this. It's absolutely crappy RG58 air core bell, and we'll use a couple of FT. I've got two 4043s. No, I've built a massive choke actually for this years ago. So we'll put a big choke on here, and we'll wrap our own for 10 metres there. And that's kind of done, other than a rope. Right, let me talk about mast 2. So that is a temporary little periscope. It's going to be a hinge point, and we're swapping that to one of the Barenko ones. But I want you to look at where the guy point is, which is right here. And then if you continue this guy point into, you'll see it goes up as a straight line to that big tree. Because we're using 3 guys here, because I just haven't got the space for 4, we can't use a falling derrick. But what I can do is put a big pulley in the tree here with a big long rope down to the winch. We should just be able to winch this up and down. So I'm planning on a steel at the bottom, an alloy at the top, probably the G450 at the bottom, and then last night I designed a interlaced 15 and 6, and that finishes HF off, right? So one boom, it's a 4 metre boom, it's got 3 elements on 15 and 5 elements on 6. Next job is to see whether we can, like a hex beam has 1 connection point, kind of like a fan dipole, fan hex beam. I want to know, can we use 1 piece of coax? Because coax is expensive, and if we can get away with 1 piece of coax, even better. Bearing in mind this is a multi-tooth station, but my theory is there's not often we want 6 and 15 at the same time. In fact, probably very rarely. There might be like a 6 metre contest on, or 6 metres open, but HF contests, 6 will just get ignored. So, but it'll be fun if somebody wants to come on remote, play on 6 metres, because the ACOM 2020S does well over 1500 watts on 6 metres. All right, I will see you tomorrow and we'll finish this off. Go and fetch your ball. Off you go. I don't know where it is, mate. I haven't got it. It's over there. Off you go. Seek. Go on, seek. Well, it's another day. So, on the 160 80 metre dipole, there's a good video about that actually. It's a fan dipole. I'm using quite good coax for that, and we're going to rip it up and replace it with less expensive coax, because on 160 and 80 the losses are a lot less on coax. The chances are this will be buried nearly. I'm surprised this is still working because I forgot to self-amalgamate it. That's fine. I put a little bit of Vaseline or something, I think. Oh, it's not buried itself too much. I couldn't see it. So hopefully this is going to take 20 metres from the shed to the base of the tower. So it should be about a 30 metre run. Should be. If it's not long enough, we'll have to just join it in the shed. We might be like, you know, a couple of metres too short. I don't know yet. It comes down and goes under that. It goes under and then back over it. So whatever that is. Bit of Ethernet cable, I think. So have we got a long enough run, basically? Oh yes, I think we've got enough. This has just got to get to the little box and no more. Oh, blimey. Okay, well, we'll tidy that up, but that will come along here and up to there. Lovely. Right. So that's the 20 metre run to the box. Now this is a 10 metre run up the tube. So this is the end of a reel of berry flex, actually, which, to be honest, I thought was nearly scrap, but we can use it. We better check this goes up the pole. I'm sure I've already done this, but anyway, we'll better check. So that will come out of there, down, along, loop around the rotator. I get really pissed off if this isn't long enough. Oh, bloody hell. I'll have to put a little join in. I don't want to use 7mm. I mean, it's probably half a dp in it, but So I need another 4 meters really. Shit. I was convinced that went up the tower. Or mast, I love calling it a tower. Okay, I've got a long patch lead. We'll join this. You have to use something else. I do have some EcoFlex 15, not enough to go up the whole thing. Alright, we'll have to scrabble around for some coax. Go inside and do that, bring out my keys, soldering iron and some coax. I did find that EcoFlex 15, but I think we'll use that for the 15 and 6. But I found this berry flex stuff. Now this is the shorter piece, so we'll cut this one up and you put a PL259 on the other one. When you do top and bottom, don't we? I better cut that off, it's a bit grisly. And somewhere around here, there it is, a brand new SO2, double-ended SO239, there we go. Now then, where's my big choppers? Let's go down a couple of inches. That looks fine. Right, let's go in double speed time and they'll fit this. The soldering iron wasn't on and I've got really chunky solder here and I can't find my flux and I don't like soldering outside, but anyway we're going to have to. And now I've just noticed there's a little bit of a dent in the coax. It should be alright. Now I'll tell you what's handy if you're into PL259s, or certainly in the modern versions, is I got these from I got these from Amazon. They're really slim jaws. Oh, there it is. I couldn't find it. The big nut on the bottom. That's normally me. That's it, we're in. Oh, so close. So this is the longer version, and then we'll put the tail on the top. And we'll cut that when it's on the tower, just the right size. Alright, I'll do number 2. I wonder how long it actually takes me to put one of these on. Right, that goes on first. Then it wanted that one actually. Okay, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? A little washer. Let's cut some of this mess off. I get a little adjustable. Metric, it's ideal. And then that normally just pushes in a lot easier than without heating it up. Let me just get the foil off first. And then see what we're doing here. And these normally come off clockwise, funnily enough. So you twist it as if you're turning something. There we are. Be a good idea to put this on first, if it'll fit. Oh yes it will. Oh, no time. Always running out of time here. The difference between a mega station, right, and this is a budget station, right? Is I'm using it's best coax I can, but it's not hardline, you know. It's just too much money. Yeah, I guess these big contest stations must be funded by very wealthy people, to be honest, because you and I couldn't even afford the blooming coax for half the station. I'm going to cut that off with these huge things because they seem to do rather a nice cut. And then we can do a little... I had a really nice bottle of Flux and I spilt it, right? I was really angry. Never mind. And now I can't find it. Or maybe I threw it away. I've got to get some more. There's a big drip there. So I need to get that off. Let's heat it all up. Sometimes I think it's because I'm recording, to be honest. I'm going to stop the recording, finish this PL259 off. Amazing. As soon as I stopped recording, the solder went and sucked inside. That's fine. Right, so this will take us up most of the tower. So because there'll be a join halfway up the pole, right, we have a possible failure point, don't we? So, I haven't tested anything. Do we have a meter with us? Tough. I know it's going to be fine. Oh, that's one of my original Messi and Poloni fitments. Normally these break on me. Oh no, I'll put that at the bottom then. I'll put the other one at the top. To be honest, this is too risky. What I need to do is go and get the multimeter. Right, about an hour and a half has gone by because I had a telephone appointment. And I've forgotten what we were doing. On, off. With just double checking that PL259. I'm going to waggle this around. Good. I'm connecting these together now and then I'm going to tape it all up. It will be a possible failure point, so we'll just have to remember that. I'm putting the black tape on first so that if we ever need to take the self-amalgamating tape off, it will actually come off a bit easier. Otherwise it'll all stick to the metal. Oh, I need to get this finished today. Right. But you know what? I'm about that much too short. Right, so that's the top, that goes up here. This goes to the bottom of the field. And it's all springy wingy. We've got to take the PL259 off, haven't we? Where's the end? There it is. I tried to future-proof this. What goes where? Okay. Right, so this is now going to be 10 metres. 10 metre coax, got it. Got to take the PL259 off. Then we can shove the snake down the little slot that we made. I'm putting the coax to make sure there's no kinks in it. Did that once before on really expensive coax and realised I probably cocked it up. So this is actually about 3 feet or a metre too long. And I seem to have a problem getting that SO239 off. The little adapter. Don't know what's going on. Might need the vice. Let's just use that a minute. Okay, done it. We have a seized up thread. Okay, well, just cut this, all right? I think we'll put a new, I don't like the look of that one, we'll put a brand new one on in a minute. Get the snake out now. I don't want any surprises today, please. Should be at the bottom any minute. There it is. Right, this is the shorter Coax, so we'll use this on 10 metres. I will mark it appropriately. Right, I've recovered that, so we just need to tape the Coax onto that. I'll leave a little tail there and we can always get it undone. There's the other Coax. We'll put it further down so that comes out, then this. Oh, I'll have to come back down, put that join in by hand. It's going to get stuck. It's going to get stuck. Oh well. I wonder if we can manually just push up. I mean, I know the snake is up there, but we'll just push the snake out the other end, I think. Yeah, that's working. Oh, I hope this fits. I did widen this, didn't I? It would fit if we didn't have... God, it's one thing isn't the other, isn't it? It would fit without the tape. Oh shit, it's nearly going in. I have bought a massive armoured cable run. I was going to put mains actually in that box, because I often need a bit of mains down here. It's only 0.5 millimetre I need. Oh, let's see if we're lucky this time. Oh, that's the snake at the other end going flying. We'll get that back in a bit. I just got to make sure there's no lumps and bumps down here now. Get rid of all that. I've just tried to pull on that. It doesn't want to come. It needs, you know, like 2 people, one at the base, one at the top. Okay, it's happy to be pushed, but not pulled. I don't know how much more there is to go. Right, let's get up to the top now. Oh, we have achieved. And there's 20. All right. Because I made that exit all smooth, didn't I? This might be one of these things where I've got to come down here and then back up there. Hang on. And that's 10. Right. I think we're there. Just got to gauge how much we go around the rotator. We can do a little bit of an adjustment on these when we know exactly how big a loop we really need. Do you know what I mean? Because right now I don't know. This is too much, I know, but that'll be fine. The bottom line is, until the mast's up, I don't know where to put these bits, so sod it, we'll leave them there. Now we've got some fun and games. We've got to play chokes now. Now I've already built, weirdly enough, I don't know why I built this. I've dated it 2017. That's 8 years ago. 9 years ago. Heavens alive. So 9 years ago I made a huge choke according to G3TXQ's Steve Silent Key, his website. So it's a top quality choke for 20 metres, I showed you. This is it. So it's RG400, there's a pair of FT4052s and it's 10 to 25 megahertz. And I've just opened it up in the workshop a minute ago and I've done some drain holes. That's all it is, all right? A pair of cores and that RG400. It's not glued, but it's not going to be going anywhere. However, learning from experience, I'm going to coat that in anything I've got lying around, to be honest. Let's have a look. To be honest, I was just going to put some Vaseline just to stop corrosion on those terminals, but I've got this silicone stuff, whatever it is, I don't know. So we'll just have to get a bit mucky here. I'm just going to coat these in this silicone stuff. And then if moisture gets in, hopefully it'll just leave us alone, you know. I probably put the wrong thing on, but you know, whatever. It's just for fun. Right, and now these are FT 240 43s. Not ideal for 10 metres, but it's fairly well balanced Yagi and everything. I'm not that concerned with too much common mode current on the outside, but that will kick us off until I can make something similar to this. But we next got to work out how much coax, that nasty stuff, will go through here. I reckon only about 4 turns, in which case maybe 3 of these. Let's do that. So I don't have any cable ties or anything. I was just thinking of just wrapping this in a couple of wraps of tape with my silicone fingers. You know what? It's the little things, isn't it? I mean, it's quicker to change a middle pole on the bloody mast than it is to do this. I've actually got you on the boom. We have only that much spare. We could swap them over, I suppose. I know we need more for that one. So maybe, how many wraps? How many can we get round? 1. There'll be a minimum bend radius for this stuff. I'm not actually that worried about that because it's a single bend. So we're all fine. 3 turns, 3 ferrites. That's probably enough. A couple of thousand, I would have thought. There's no bloody room to get another one in anyway. Oh, maybe there is. Let's give it a go. I'll get back to you. Looks like this is not a today job, but while we're here, I thought we'd just plug the stick into 10 metres, just see if it tunes at all. Now we've got the reflector at the bottom and the director at the top, which is good. So this is not at the right height, so the chances are we'll get quite a low it'll be like 28.2, and when it's up it'll be like 28.6 or something like that. Let me switch it on to see. There's no choke or anything yet, so this all depends on tomorrow. Once this thing's up, does it go 28.9? Does it go 28.1? They normally go up, in fairness, but anyway, we'll find out. I'm trying to make sure it wasn't like dead shorted or something, you know. And Mike said, by the way, you've got this on upside down, right? I said, well, why is that then? He said, because the SO239, it should be underneath. And I said, yeah, but my coax is coming in from the top. He went, all right, fair enough then. But we did speculate whether the RF would come up upside down. We decided it wouldn't, and that was silly. But while we've got mucky hands, let's just tighten this up, and I'm going to coat that gamma match. It's not a hairpin, is it? No, it's a gamma match with a load of silicone grease. I don't know why, I just am. There's a nut here, I just don't know if we've tightened it up. This is the gamma match to the 2.3, no it's not, it's a bit loose. But the nice thing about this tower is if anything goes wrong, I can just go, oh well, sod it, I need another one at the bottom, hang on. I've got you on the boom. I think it needs one of these at the bottom. I didn't fit this, so I'm not quite sure how it's... Does that go that way and then this goes on the top? I think so. Okay, that's tight. I'm not blue Loctiting this, you know. It's just getting silly, isn't it? Right, I'm doing this. Get in there. Need my pinky finger. There we are, just a little bit. I mean, that'll wear off, I suppose. Don't ask me how I managed to move the camera with fingers like these. Right, so, experience tells me, let's coat that. Alright, you know, whatever. By the way, I did get, where are I managed to get 4 of these round here. I'm just gonna, I found these on the desk actually. Just keep the ferrites together, you know. Okay, I'm just going to tuck that coax in here in case it rains overnight, because something I want to show you. Oh, so we're going to do more of this tomorrow. But I've mentioned a few times that I want this whole thing to also be 160 metre vertical. Weirdly enough, all this yagi at the top it would help as a parasitic top hat in a funny sort of, well, it was a bit of a mini top hat. However, we still need the length. So this is a signature 9 ground post. And I got a funny feeling it should fit in this aluminum end point, which is exactly the reason why we cut a slot. Oh yes, it does. So what we'll do is we'll put a couple of wraps of tape, put that on here, and a signature 9 coming right off the end. And if you're wondering what a signature 9 is, the 4 square is exactly that. Right, we've got 4 of these verticals. These are signature 9s, exactly the same system. They're steel poles, which we wrapped some tape around, shoved them in, and these completely unguyed. They've been here for about a year and it works great actually. So lovely. All right, so just recap what we've got to do tomorrow and I'll shut down. Fit a couple of connectors, to be honest. Put the choke on, get it back up in the air. The only fly in the ointment is the feed point for 20 metres is up there, so it's a step ladder job. But that'll be fine. I've got an old patch lead, so we'll just cut the end off, graft a couple of fork terminals. That'll go straight onto it's like the dipole centre, you know. Short pigtail, don't put that choke on. All right, so I will see you tomorrow. Well, good morning from sunny Warwickshire. Wendy's out with the dogs. And let's take this dipole centre off. And this crappy stuff here. I put these on wing nuts, so that's easy. Scrap. We might as well get the scrap off, eh? Strip down a patch lead and connect this to the dipole centre thingy. Right, now this actually did work, if you remember, but I personally think it's just a bit scrappy, so we will snip all that off and replace it with a little, we'll do the same again with this patch lead, but this will go into here and then into here. And I was thinking about this in the car, you know, I just feel like, oh, do we just use a choke? But oh yeah, we will cut this because it's crappy eyes just there. Anyway, let's get this off. There we go. Right, goodbye. This is going in the bin, I'm afraid. If you really want it, shout, but it'll be about £6 postage. Keep that in reserve, shall we? Let's cut it too long to start with. I don't want to be snipping all the braid. You know, I could do like a little edit for these things, but then you'd miss out the kind of fun of the build. I was thinking about this last night because each night I've been kind of editing that day, and I thought, oh, this is going on a bit. But some people really like this slightly longer format, don't they? And it's just good documentation. So one's going to go one way and one the other way, and we need to just be careful with this braid. So I will get back to you when I've sorted it all out. Okay, I've kind of done that. We will get the foil off now. Crimpers. Now, do we bother soldering or not? Right, soldering iron's just been on because we've got a little SO239 production line going on. We're all ready to go. Good. Oh, Gina has offered to assist. And there's Lockie just coming back. That'll be enough for the time being. So, where is he?
Just waiting outside.
Okay. I think that's enough actually, Gina, thank you.
No worries.
I said to Gina, do you want to be on the video today or not? And she looked at me and went, I prefer not to be. I did say everything takes forever, doesn't it? This is literally the third or fourth day. Right, before we actually splice these on here, look, we will, I don't know what product to use. We could start off with some liquid tape, I guess. Just coat it all and then just keep putting tape on afterwards, like self-amalgamating tape and stuff. This is going to go real splodgy, look. So we'll do this and then tidy it up in a minute. And if you remember from the 160 metre fan dipole project, this stuff's really flammable, which is quite handy actually when you are trying to get it to dry off. But apparently this, you can't just leave it like this in the wild, because it will actually come off, you know. So we need to, well, bear in mind this tower can come up and down in a whisker, but I just don't want a failure point, you know. All right. So what can we do while we're waiting for this to dry? And that's going to take a long time to dry. I think we'll put it in the sun. We'll prepare the other end for the 10 metre, because these are for 20. We'll get the PL259 ready for 10 metres, I think. Just need to find somewhere where it's gonna be happy. Alright, so let's just let that dry off completely while we get on with some other stuff. Might as well sit down. By the way, a lot of you say, why don't you use a tool belt? Because I tried it and I need so much stuff when I'm really out here working. Right, so let's just sort out this choke, because I've got bits of cable tie everywhere. And then I put one of these releasable cable ties on last night, and that'll eventually come off, but see if we can just get it a bit tighter. Not really, no. Just to kind of hold it together. Right, we don't want to screw this up, do we? We can all shorten this one day. Yeah, we've got enough room. Right, usual system. PL259, new one because the old one's just looks awful. Right, let me finish this off, I'll get back to you. By the way, I hope you get the joke when I say metric adjustables. I mean, they're adjustables, so it doesn't really matter. And the question today is, are we going to, how much self-amalgamating tape are we going to use up here? I don't know. But anyway, now I've got my barcode cutters, we can make a really nice cut here. I'm just looking down, making sure that when we get the solder on, it'll be parallel. Yes, it will. I need another SO239 and we need some cable ties, so I'll be back. Okay, so 20 is going to come to here. We need to cut this. Come around about there. We'll make it slightly longer, so you know, for a bit of maintenance. Oh, do we want it longer or shorter? If we tape it there, and that will give us a little bit of room if we just cut it here. So nearly there. I was actually going to stall this and get 160 metre installed today as well, but I think, you know, one thing at a time, eh? PL259. Now, by the way, Messi and Poloni actually tell you to measure this before you put their connector on. So we could measure it with our finger, like that. Oh no, don't tell me, I can't get this on now. Oh no, I can. This is a really shitty bit of copper on the end of it. This has been outside or something. But as long as we can seal that, we will be good. I have an alarm every day to remind me to take my medication because I have severe ADHD. I'll make a video about that one day. I mean, on the one hand, it's a bit of a superpower, but on the other hand, without the medication and the education, can be a real problem. And I think it has really held me back over my life until I was diagnosed about 3 years ago. Maybe another day, if you're interested, I will make that video. It's all about how the brain works and everything else. But it's why I'm kind of slightly disabled. We need the soldering iron now. So I'm in the wind. It's going to take bloody forever as usual. Let's get... see if we can protect it from the wind. Right, let's put a bit of heat into this, see if we can, just before we solder, might be able to just heat it up a little bit so the soldering iron isn't doing all the work, just some of the work. There she goes. I think. All right. This has come out really well. Let's clear a bit of space. So we should be able to refit that like this. Trouble is, I've got the elements to do and this at the same time. But let's at least get the washers and the fork connectors on, if I can find them, because everything has been moved. But there they are. There they are. Found them. I'll just get these on and no more, and then we can put the elements, if you know what I mean, on in a minute. And then, silly question, do I fit this now or get that one? I think I get that one first. So we connect first and then sort the coax afterwards, I think. Oh, we need to get my favourite Vaseline out or something. Very difficult to get self-amalgamating tape around there, but anyway. So I want to keep that choke don't know what I'm doing really. We'll put the mast up, and if we feel it's a bit wibbly wobbly, I don't think it will be. It's just I want to keep it from that pole slightly, you know. Put another one here. I think we'll do the final bit once we're up, just to make it look really nice. Oh, another longer releasable cable tie and we're done. Do you know what I haven't done? I've forgotten to put some self-amalgamating tape on where the, what's it called? The rubber tape, the rubber liquid I put on. But it doesn't matter, we'll take it up and down. I'll just monitor it. Vaseline, and for 25 years people have been telling me don't use this, it's not going to work, blah, 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 blah. I just need to say that for 25 years since I've been using this, I've never, ever had a failure when I use Vaseline. I've had failures on other stuff, self-amalgamating tape, I've had it come through on that. All right. I've got far too much on my finger, hang on. Actually, we can put a bit on my finger, throw it on the floor, and I'll just do the outside of these threads. Keep going, there we are. That we can probably do something like that. You see how everything just takes forever, at least with like a club, you know, you do a whole day. Mind you, 2 people normally do the work and 8 people make the coffee, don't they? I apologise if this video's gone on and on and on. It's like 3 days work. And, you know, I could condense it down to 10 minutes, but you know, you might as well follow along. All Vaselined up, and I've ran out of battery. It's been taping all, you know, recording all day. I've made it all nice here. I've got the drone ready, so when it's up, we can fly around, just sort of see where the weight is and that the chokes are behaving themselves. So I think we will do a little test raise, just a few feet, make sure the ropes haven't stretched too much, things like that. I kind of wish now I'd bought polyester temporary rope, but that would have been £120 for temporary rope versus £30 for this stuff. You know, before we swapped to the fancy Dyneema. I got all the way down to the cabinet, you know, where the winch controller is, and left my keys up on the desk. Django, just leave him alone. Oh, I just want to take the tension off very slightly. This is the controller here, look. Press this button, it should go up a tiny bit. Oh, I'm in the way of the controller. See that top rope, I think is stretched in the heat. It should be all right on the way up. For someone who hasn't done this before, by the way, this looks extremely precarious. But I've got to tell you, we had a 100-foot tower, and I put a 6-metre extension off the top, and then we had an A3S and a 2-element for 40. And on the way up, right, the top aluminium was bent a lot more than that. Well, once it was up, it was fine, you know. Just up a wee bit more. And I'll get my hard hat. Because you don't want to be hit on the head with a 62-foot tower without your hard hat. It just kind of feels right, just leaving it on the tension for a minute while I just go around, because it's been down for a few days. Blast, I haven't come out with a spare memory card, so I'm going to take the memory card out of this one and put it in the drone. I'll review that footage when I get home, just to make sure that there's not too much pressure on those chokes. But at the moment, we just got the winch holding it up, which is actually the wrong place. But we need to sort the coax out at the bottom, if you remember. All right, so what have we got here? That is EcoFlex 15, and that currently says on the switch 20 meters, but we can use that for 10. That was 20. That'll be 10. Right. Probably can't see what I'm doing, but I've actually got some 90-degree angles in the shop. I might put these on instead of this. It's only after you make something you realise you should have put I should have put these SO239s a bit further out because I can't get my bloody finger in. So we need to recover that other coax that was 160 metres. So from the shed we've got EcoFlex 15 on 10, and that's the Berry Flex that was 160 metres on 20. But I think we should get some black tape and make the loop around the rotator properly. I need to get the ladders really. This is the Ethernet cable for the magnetic sensor for the rotator. But we'll just tidy it up a wee bit. There's crap coming down here. So, what do we do here, I wonder? Oh, now this is the earth, the ground point. This is to ground the tower to the ground at the moment on a temporary basis. Oh, but I need my little spanner. So basically this strap here goes from here to here. At the moment it's grounding the tower. If you think about it, one day we'll put an SO239 here. That'll be the ground, because this is connected to all the radials on the ground, and this will go up the tower. But we'll put a wire, strap it and bolt it next to the tower. Let me just make sure that goes all the way around. Oh jeez. It doesn't. Okay, I'll leave it on loose, and then it can just rip off if it's not enough. I'm just fixing this tower. It needs a particular tension so that each of the guy wires under the same tension. I kind of know what I'm doing. I can't explain it. Actually, I need to do this by feel really, because I know it's about there. So the top right guy, the far guy, just needs a tiny bit of tension. So this is the top one here, literally up to the top. And I over-tensioned the falling derrick side when the rope had stretched. So I'm just compensating now this side. I'd say about 20 mil. It gets to the point where a tiny amount sort of tilts out the tower, but anyway, I'll let you show you. Oh, it's absolutely dead straight. Basically that's, I mean, yeah it is. It's maybe an eighth of an inch out of the top, you know, 6, 7, 8 mil, but that's fine. All right, so I'm on the 20 metre Yagi, which is now the 10 metre, okay, and my SWR is diddly squat. I need to follow the signal path because I can't remember what I've done on 160 metres. Because if I click the 160 metre fan dipole on 20 megahertz, I've got high SWR. So that points to either that choke is like whoa, or something else. You know, so we just need to work that out. But the point is, I mean, that'll be easy because we know that the 20 metre Yagi worked. It's just the signal path. You just need to deal with it. But the point is, the new thing, which is the 10 metre Yagi, is fine. Well, we can hear him anyway. Okay. Whoa. I've had 3 or 4 days of this. I'm not going to play on the radio now. And I should really go outside, follow the signal path and do it. I mean, it's an easy job. It's just starting off, lower the tower, put the stick on and keep going back until it goes wrong. All right. Or I've got it in the wrong connector or something simple. But I'm not worried about that. All right. Before I sign off, maybe you leave a comment. What do you want me to do next? 160 metre vertical or the 15.6 tower thing, mast? All right. It's up to you. Each one takes about a week. And I'll see you next time. I apologise one more time. Please forgive me for such a long video. But it's tough, isn't it? I either make a 10-minute shorty, which has actually no value to anybody, or do the whole 9 yards. And I've decided to do the whole 9 yards. See you next time. Bye for now and enjoy your radio.